Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it has been my singular honor and duty this morning to sign into law the Persons Living with Disability Bill 2025, a progressive piece of legislation that reaffirms the dignity and rights of all people living with disabilities in Kenya. This community constitutes a significant segment of our population. According to the 2019 National Housing and Population Census, the number of individuals with disabilities above the age of 5 stood at just under 1 million, about 2% of our population, while globally, it is estimated that they represent 15% of the world's population. Although this group forms a critical part of every nation's demographic, they continue to face systemic barriers, including challenges in accessing education, healthcare, employment, and basic social services. Some of these hurdles are rooted in structural, social, political, and cultural systems. Others stem from institutional and attitudinal barriers that lead to exclusion and unequal access to opportunities. Assenting to the Persons with Disabilities Bill into law, it concludes the long journey of repealing the Persons with Disabilities Act number 14 of 2003 and marks the beginning of a vital progression towards promoting and safeguarding the rights of citizens living with disability. This law is both progressive in scope and progressive in vision. It affirms the rights of persons with disabilities to education, employment, healthcare, political participation, and access to buildings and built environments. It also mandates stronger enforcement mechanisms, clearer accountability, and enhances representation of persons with disabilities in both national and county governance structures. Beyond giving fuller expression to Article 54 of the Constitution, the highlights in the new framework includes a restructured National Council for Persons with Disability, devolution of functions related to persons with disabilities, recognition and support to caregivers, greater access to justice, and enhanced legal frameworks in respect of people living with disabilities, and robust economic safeguards. This includes exemptions and incentives for the benefits of persons living with disabilities to foster greater economic and financial resilience and to mitigate vulnerability. Additionally, the law fortifies the legal framework protecting the rights of persons with disabilities by offering clearer definitions, strengthening protections against discrimination, and mandating the implementation of affirmative action measures across various sectors. With the signing of this law, ladies and gentlemen, the real work now begins. Its full promise cannot be realized by the National Council for Persons Living with Disabilities or the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection alone. It will require collective action by all stakeholders, including national and county governments, legislators, civil society, the private sector, and all Kenyans of goodwill. I assure you that the government of Kenya is fully committed to translating the provisions of this law into tangible improvements in the lives and welfare of persons living with disability. As part of our efforts to strengthen disability inclusion in the public sector, I direct the Public Service Performance Management Unit of the Public Service Commission to reinstate the disability mainstreaming performance indicators in performance contracting. This indicator is crucial for evaluating and holding institutions accountable for their inclusivity, making disability mainstreaming a measurable and essential component of institutional performance. Finally, let me express my gratitude to the Honorable Senator Pamela Asigi. Crystal Asigi, and she's in our midst. Crystal Asigi, congratulations. You have done the best for the people living with disability in Kenya, for the people of Kenya, and for humanity. Let us give her a round of applause. Again, Crystal Asigi, to you and to the many who have made significant contribution to the finalization of this bill, including members of parliament in both chambers, and the organizations and individuals who tirelessly championed this cause. My very best wishes, and again, congratulations, and thank you very much for the efforts, for the commitment you have demonstrated, for the sacrifices you have made, for the many long hours you have put into developing this bill, and for the consensus you have forged to be able to find common ground from all sectors to facilitate the passage of this bill. And I proudly signed it today into law, knowing very well that many Kenyans of goodwill have the blessing of this bill. You have made history. I also extend my appreciation to Kenyans with disability who have waited patiently for this moment. Your relentless advocacy has borne fruit, and today you can rightfully savor the rewards of your efforts. And from my desk, let me say to all the people, fellow citizens living with disability in Kenya, this framework provides a robust, inclusive framework that provides all the necessary incentives, necessary safeguards to make sure people living with disabilities live their full lives as the rest of society. And the ministry concerned, the Ministry of Labor, will take lead, while all of us, both national and county governments, will play our role, and all other institutions will take their place in making sure that we execute the provisions of this framework and make people living with disability in Kenya proud. Thank you very much. My very best wishes. Asanteni sana. I think we are good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the rest can sit down. Christina.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And that now brings us to the end of this particular session. Thank you.